wherever you are listening or watching Radio Afinju. The time is 5 p.m.
Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ àfínjú. Lórí WhatsApp. Àfínjú. Instagram. Àfínjú. Facebook. Àfínjú. Lórí X. Àfínjú. Lórí YouTube. Àfínjú. Lórí TikTok. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ 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 àfínjú. Rédíò àfínjú. Rédíò àfínjú. Rédíò àfínjú.
Here on Doc on Radio, we are shining a light on why your well-being should always come first. From everyday health tips to deep medical insight, from nutrition to fitness, from top doctors to latest medical research, we've got it all. Bringing you expert advice, answering your burning questions, and helping you live a healthier and happier life. How cool is that? Join Pearl Durotoye every Monday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. only on Radio Afinju for Doc on Radio. Watch us live and follow Radio Afinju on Facebook and YouTube so you don't miss out. Because your health matters and great health is something you deserve.
Good evening. Good evening. You're welcome to another episode of Doc on Radio, Wellness Made Easy here on Radio Afinju. How are you doing? It's another Monday evening here at Radio Afinju. And you know, once the time is 5 o'clock p.m., you know it is time to talk hygiene. You know it is time to talk about health and wellness, health and well-being, everything health related. You know it is about that time. My name is Pearl Durotoye, and I welcome you to Doc on Radio for today. Doc on Radio is your radio health and wellness show where we'll bring the hospital, we'll bring the clinic to your doorstep, and we also provide you practical solutions to everyday health challenges. It's a place you can come to. It is a safe space where you can ask all your health related questions or your health concerns. You need somebody to talk to, or you just want to learn more about your health, because like I always say, good health is not something that should be difficult if only you pay attention. And so I welcome you to this evening's episode. If you're not following Radio Afinju on social media, I wonder what you are waiting for, because you're really missing a lot. You're missing out a lot on our programs, our shows, educative, insightful, expository. You're going to learn so much. You're going to get entertained. It is so much fun here at Radio Afinju. So if you're not already following us, you can just quickly go to our Facebook page at Radio Afinju. We are also on YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, X, everywhere, all at Radio Afinju. Like our post, comments, share your thoughts. We want to hear from you as well, okay? Don't just follow. We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts. Let us know what you think about whatever program that is going on, and also share with your friends and family, because there's always something to learn on radio. Afinju. So again, I welcome you to this evening's episode of Doc on Radio, Wellness Made Easy. And what I will be discussing this evening, what I'll be discussing is a very important topic. Important because at various points in time, we have experienced this. If we're going to be very honest with ourselves, at various points of our lives, we have experienced it, and it is a common knowledge, or it's common thoughts that, okay, what's causing this particular health issue is so and so things. That's without going to the doctor. You've already diagnosed yourself that, okay, this is what is wrong with you. And you see, the thing is that there are a lot of things that we are misinformed about, especially when it comes to health related issues and health related topics. There are a lot of misinformation going on out there, and that is why this show is very important, because we shine a light on these topics and let you know what is true and what is not. So what would I be talking about this evening? Today on Doc on Radio, I will be discussing toilet infections. Yes, toilet infections. What we all know, I'll put it in a quote, what we know as toilet infection. That this is a topic that a lot of people, we are always people are not as vocal. I mean, as is common with a lot of health issues anyway, people are not as vocal about a lot of health issues. But you see, like I always say, you can't provide a solution to a problem you don't know. You can't provide solution to a problem you do not understand. I know when it comes to toilet infections, especially since we're talking it's under, we like to put it under the umbrella of hygiene or sexual relationships, so a lot of people shy away from talking about it. But when you're on Doc Radio, you don't shy away from these things. You don't shy away from them. You say things as they are. So what are toilet infections? What makes toilet? Is there even such a thing as toilet infection? Let's start from there. Is it really possible? Ask yourself, is it really possible to get an infection by sitting on a toilet seat, or by using a public toilet, or by using a general toilet, even the toilet in your house? Is it possible to get toilet infection from there? This and many more are the things I am going to be discussing. I'm going to be talking about what toilet infections are, what are the causes, what are preventions. We'll try to understand more about this topic so that we can know what the next step is, right? So that next time you find yourself, maybe you are scratching down there, or you are feeling some sort of sensations that are very uncomfortable, you can know what you need to look out for. So I will be going on a very short break now. Once I come back, Doc on Radio will also be back. So if you're not already seated, you should grab a seat right now, and not just a seat, grab a pen and a paper as well, because it is time to learn. It is time to take your health seriously on Doc on Radio. I will be right back. You're welcome back. You're welcome back from that break. If you're just joining the show, you've not missed so much, because we are just kicking off on the topic for today on Doc on Radio. And I mentioned before I went on that break that the topic for this evening's discussion is toilet infections. Toilet infection. What really are toilet infections? Do we know what they are? But I'm going to start by explaining what the popular thought is. When people hear toilet infection, what do they think it is? So toilet infection is commonly referred to by people to describe infections that they believe are caught from using public toilets or shared toilets. Maybe when you are outside, you needed to quickly use a restroom, and then you go to a restaurant, a public restaurant, or a bank, or a toilet that is outside your own personal toilet at home, right? So, and then when you sit on the toilet, you notice that, okay, maybe after you sit on the toilet, when you got home, you notice you started itching, or you started feeling some sort of burning sensation, and so you assume, or we conclude, that it is a toilet infection. Well, it is worthy of note that most of these infections aren't actually caused by the toilet itself. Yes, it's not caused by the toilet itself, because like I said, it is a common thought what people think toilet infections are, and it encompasses a lot of things, because the moment people start to maybe they start to feel strange feelings, burning, itching sensations in their pubic region, they just easily conclude and assume that, okay, this is toilet infection. But the truth is that there are various infections that actually affect the genital and urinary regions. There are various infections that usually affect the genital and the urinary regions. And usually when we talk about toilet infection, people like to link it to poor hygiene or poor hygiene practices, or just assume it is the use of public restroom that caused it. So the idea of contracting toilet infection may actually be very, very alarming, because you start to feel unsafe about, okay, can I use this toilet? Can I use this restroom? Can I pee here? Can I do this here? Can I, you start to feel unsafe. You start to have this paranoia. You cannot use public restrooms. But it is also important to really separate the facts. It is important to separate the facts and understand what the real causes of the so-called infection is, because in the real cause of it, there is no such thing as toilet infection. That's just the long and short of it. What we call toilet infection is usually caused by other things. And what things are those things that are caused when you start to itch, when you start to scratch, when you start to feel uneasy, you start to have that burning sensation, it is caused by other things, not even toilet. The chances of you getting an infection by sitting on a toilet seat is actually very, very minimal. This has been proven and backed scientifically. So the risk of you contracting an infection from other means is even higher than getting it from the toilet. I'm not saying this is impossible. There is a slight chance, but it is very minimal. It is not common. But does that mean you will not obtain, or you will not practice good hygiene practices? No. Just because getting toilet infection is, the risk is low, does not mean you're not going to practice hygiene. Does not mean you're not going to pay attention to taking care of yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But what people really refer to as toilet infections, they can be a bunch of different things. They can be a lot of other things, and one of those things are what we call urinary tract infections, UTIs. Urinary tract infections. They can also be yeast infections. Yes, this is especially popular for women. Yeast infections. It can also be bacterial vaginosis. It can also be that as well. It can be skin infection or irritations. Your genital area might just be irritated, maybe for one or two reasons. It can just be that. And so when you start to itch, it can just be irritation. And also, it can also be sexually transmitted infections. Yes, STIs. It can be a sexually transmitted infection that you're saying, it's because I've sat somewhere. No, it can be that. It can be a fungal infection. Okay, I've mentioned yeast infection, which is already a fungal infection. It can also be some sort of viral infection as well. Viral infection, maybe it can be herpes, other sexually transmitted infections that have nothing to do with toilets. It can also be parasitic infections. It can also be what? Parasitic infections that affects your genital area. And this is usually common when you practice unsafe sexual practices or you don't practice proper hygiene. Parasites can start to loiter around your genital area, and with that you start to feel some sorts of way. So now that we know that, okay, not all kinds of irritation in the genital area, not all kinds of discomfort in the genital area is caused by toilet infection, and we have identified that there are a lot of other reasons why you are feeling that way, even though it is easy to blame it on the poor toilet. It's very, very easy to blame it on the toilet. But the truth of the matter is that most germs that may have been on the toilet seat, they cannot survive long outside of it, because a lot of germs, they rely on the human as I think it's what they call it, symbiotic relations, or is it parasitic? Yeah, it's parasitic, because the germ relies on the human being to survive. If it were symbiotic, you both rely on each other, right? But in parasitic, the germ relies on you to survive. So if somebody that has an infection sits on the toilet seat and leaves, after a while, the germ is very, very less effective. So the next person that comes and sits on it, I am not zeroing out the possibility, but the risk awards are very, very minimal. It is extremely low. Right? So there are a lot of other reasons. So, and some things we also need to put in place. It's just like when you do not bath for a while. If you don't take your bath, your body starts to feel uncomfortable. You just try it out. I mean, outside of people who normally you don't like to bath, so it is already very common. It's very usual for you. I'm not talking about you now, because you can go. There are people that can go 7 days without bathing and they will feel very, very normal. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people who take their baths every day. When you go out in the morning, you've taken your bath before you step out, and once you come back home after a busy day, you also take your bath. So imagine a person like that. You're going 7 days without bathing, 3 days only, you're going to feel discomfort. Your body will start to itch you. Wow, because there are germs even when you take your bath and you head out, you enter bus, you enter korope, you enter taxi, you get in touch with germs everywhere. So imagine you not practicing proper hygiene. So if you are that kind of person that when you bath, now there are different ways to bath. There are some people, when you bath, they just pour water and they are done. Until when they don't bath with that. You just pour water. Some don't even use sponge. They say that's the best. Okay, no problem. No, remember, like I said, we listen, we don't judge. There are people like that. As some people, once they wake up, they enter the bathroom, they put the sponge on their head, armpits, everything. 2 seconds, they are done. Proper hygiene practices. Because even as you are stepping out, because remember, your body is also expelling waste, either by sweat, by vaginal discharge. So imagine you've not bathed for days, and you are still wearing the same underwear you wore yesterday. You are wearing the same underwear today. That's a very poor personal hygiene practice, and that can introduce germs into your body. So when germs start to grow and then they alter the pH balance of your body, especially for women, they alter the pH balance of your vagina, definitely you are going to start itching. You are going to start feeling uncomfortable, and then when it starts, you're going to say, I want to call on me. Poor personal hygiene, that can cause that discomfort you are going through. Another thing we need to take note of is wearing tight or damp underwear. A lot of people are guilty of this, especially now that it's even rainy season. You wash your underwear maybe in the morning when you are taking your bath. You wash it, and it is not that underwear, especially if it's not your favorite underwear. That's even the worst. If that's your favorite underwear, you wash it in the morning, and then the next day when the underwear is barely dry, as you take your bath that morning, you are wearing it again. There's a problem. That can also alter the pH balance of your genital area, and when that happens, the next thing is discomfort. So instead of wearing tight and damp underwear, ensure your underwears are properly aired. when you wash them, take them outside. Even if there is no sun, let them be properly aired. Let breeze blow. Let it blow it. Let it air properly, and ensure that you don't have only 1 or 2 panties that you are wearing. Why are you owning just 5 panties as a woman, as a young man? Why do you own only 5 underwear? And then you wear this one on Monday, on Tuesday, then you wear the next one on Wednesday, and then the next week you rotate. And you know where it even gets worse? That does not. Some people, they will wear the same underwear for a whole year. They don't even bother to change it. You say, it's still looking fresh now. It's still looking nice. Meanwhile, the underwear is even already showing you sign of wear and tear. The vagina, the acid from the vagina has already discolored your panties. Your panties are already tearing, but you are not ready to change it. Coupled with that, when you wash it, you don't air them properly. That is a poor hygiene practice. Another thing you need to take note of is when you wear tight underwear as well. See, germs thrive in areas that there's a lot of heat, that they will multiply sporadically. They love it. They love it so much when there is no air. So when you wear tight underwear, you are trapping air. Air is not getting into your genital area. Air is not getting there. So if you are fond of wearing tight underwear, if some days you can just even go without wearing tight. You don't need to wear tight all the time. You can wear panties, unless if you are somebody that is not mindful of when they are in public, and when you sit, you cross your legs, and you don't know how to cross your legs and all of that. Otherwise, just go some days. Let's breathe. Let it even touch everywhere. You will even feel good about yourself. Not morning and night. Some people, from morning till night, you are wearing that tight underwear. Then when you want to sleep as well, you are wearing another tight underwear. Why? You are not in the war front now. So be mindful of tight underwear. And this does not only apply to women, men as well. That very tight boxers that you people always like wearing. Be very mindful of it, because you are trapping when air cannot get into. Germs have more room, more space to brood and multiply. And then you see some men, when they are walking, they put one hand inside their trouser, they are scratching. Why? Because there is bacteria there, there is germs there growing and living happily ever after. So you have to be very mindful. Another cause can be using harsh soaps or wipes. I will mention women in this one because I think we are more guilty of this particular one, especially because in your bid to practice proper hygiene, you want to be sparkling. You now pack soap and then you start washing. Some people even insert. There's really a lot to unpack. Some people pack soap and then they insert it. They say they are washing their pipe. They insert it in the vagina. They say they are washing, they are scrubbing. They want to remove all the remnants. I don't know what is inside the vagina that you want to take out. You've probably heard that the vagina is self-cleansing, right? But that does not mean you should not wash it too. Before you say it's Pearl that said you should not wash your vagina. No. Yes, the vagina is self-cleansing, and you can tell because sometimes when you take off your underwear, you can see some discharge leaving your body. That's your vagina leaving itself. That's your vagina cleaning itself, right? But still, when you go to bath, warm water or even ordinary water, clean water, not dirty water, clean water. And if you must use soap, ensure that it is mild soap, because a lot of the soaps, bathing soaps that we use, antiseptics and all of that, they contain chemicals that are not so good for the vagina. Because remember, the vagina has pH levels that need to be balanced, right? It has pH levels that need to be balanced, and introducing a chemical that is going to unbalance it is you looking for a problem for yourself. You are looking for a problem for yourself, because the moment it is unbalanced, that's when you start to have a yeast infection. That's when you start to itch. That's when you start to do this. Did you understand? So when you are washing, ensure that you're using very mild soaps. That's not when you need your whitening soap all those whitening soap. There's nothing wrong with using those. I'm not the one that will tell you which soap to use to bath. But when it comes to your genitals, when it comes to your pubic region, you have to be very mindful. You can use your bleaching, whatever, on other parts of your body. It's up to you. But you have to be very careful when it comes to your genital area, because that's an opening into your body. If you don't know, you are introducing things, strange elements into your body. And when you do that, your body will be forced to fight back. And in the course of your body trying to defend itself, you start to itch, you start to have rashes, you start to have boils. Let's be very mindful. Another thing that can cause what we refer to as toilet infection is unprotected sex. Remember, I mentioned earlier that sometimes what we probably have is a sexually transmitted infection, not necessarily toilet infection. So if you are somebody, you have been having unprotected sex, I'm just looking at you from the corner of my eye, you need to be very, very mindful. Yeah, you need to be very, very mindful, because there are a lot of sexually transmitted diseases out there. A lot. See, you can be having unprotected sex and then scrubbing your toilet, scrubbing your bathroom like your life depends on it. You are still going to get an infection. I am sorry to tell you. Use all the bleach in this world. Use all the antiseptic in this world to wash your underwear, to even use it to wash your pubic region. If you are still having unprotected sex, you are going to get an infection. So it's almost like wasted efforts. It's almost like you're just wasting your time and doing something that is not bringing you any results. So you have to be very mindful. Ensure that you are practicing safe sex. Use your protection. If you're not going to use protection, then ensure that your partner, you are well tested, and your partner is also well tested from a reliable medical facility. If possible, follow them to that place, because these days people now forge medical results. They forge medical results because they want to sleep with you. So they will just print something and design it and send it to you that they have a clean health bill, and you now, of course, unsuspecting, or maybe you even know, but because the conji don't hold you very well, you say, you know what, let whatever wants to happen, let it happen, let me have my fun. And then after having your fun, you are left with the consequences, and then you start to have kuruna. And you say, it's toilet, is that toilet that you used in Sabongari in 1994 that is causing? No, it is that fun that you had, that you said, in fact, all die and I die. Now the die has come now, and you are running helter skelter. So please, let us practice safe sex. It is very, very important. Practicing safe sex is not all about trying to prevent pregnancy. No. You are also protecting yourself. You are protecting your body. Especially for women. Don't let them tell you, no, it's not sweet if I use condom, it's not going to be. It's a lie. It is what? A lie. Unless if you are willing to deal with it when it comes. But have it at the back of your mind that when you go to the hospital and then they do plenty tests for you, and then you spend a lot of money buying drugs, you are going to wish that you never found yourself in that spot. And come to think of it, it is actually embarrassing that you're going out, you are going out with your friends, you are going to church, you're going to the market, and then you are itching, you are scratching. You are not going to be yourself. You're going to be very, very uncomfortable. So why put yourself through all of that? Why? For few minutes, few seconds, or maybe hours of fun. It's not worth it, if you ask me. So unprotected sex can also cause what we may have referred to as toilet infection. Another reason can be like an already untreated infection that is already in your body. An already untreated infection that is in your body. There's already an infection in your body and you did not treat it. That can also complicate things. That can also complicate things for you, and you will think, oh, it is a toilet infection that is worrying me, it is this one that is worrying me. It can just be something that's already existing. So there is no way for you to know unless you actually see a medical professional. You see a doctor, you tell them what are your symptoms, what are the signs, what are those things you have noticed. Are you noticing some growth? Are you noticing some rashes? Are you noticing some kind of discharge? What's the color of the discharge? What does it look like? How does it feel? What does it, when you pee, does it hurt? Does it burn? They will ask you all these questions, which you should honestly answer. Do not lie to your doctors. They are not here to judge you. They just want to help. So whatever it is you are feeling, whatever it is you are experiencing, it doesn't matter how bad you think it. See, it doesn't matter how bad you think that health condition is. They have seen worse. They have what? Seen worse things. So you cannot afford to hide. You cannot afford to hide yourself. If there is anybody you need to be vulnerable to, it is your medical personnel. It's the person attending to you. It is your doctor. When you go and they ask you, when last did you have sex? There is no need to lie. If it is before you came for that appointment, tell them, as I was coming here, the thing hold me, I started to go collect. Tell them as it is happening. Because then they can start to add one or two together to say, okay, you did this happened, you did this happened, and then they can come to a conclusion to what the symptoms and the signs point to, and then know what tests or drugs or medicines to recommend to you. You understand? So be very honest about your symptoms. I will go on a very short break now, and when I come back, I'm going to be talking about prevention and care. Now that we've talked about the risk, the things that may cause all this, what we refer to as toilet infection, what can we do on our own part? While I was mentioning the risk, I'm sure you can already pick out some of the things you should do, but I'm just going to discuss more on some of the preventions and the things we can do as a people, not only to protect ourselves but to protect the people around us as well, while I will also talk about some common facts about toilet infections that we've probably heard about or we've seen people say and discuss, which are not true. So what is the myth? What is the fact? I'm going to be doing all of that after this break. Don't forget, this is still Doc on Radio. On a radio, Finju Wellness Made Easy. I will be right back after this break.
When heavy rain begin fall and plenty water full everywhere, dey alert, my people. Shine your eyes as e dey happen for other places. If it reach your side,
má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá. Gbé ilẹ̀ rẹ fún àwọn ọkọ̀ akólẹ̀.
no go put yourself for danger dey waka for flooded roads.
Gbọ́ o, ǹjẹ́ tó bá rí ẹnikẹ́ni tó hùwà tó lòdì sí òfin àmójútó ìdọ̀tí àti ẹ̀gbin, ẹ fi tó àwọn aláṣẹ létí. Report to the nearest authority.
Ó yá, ẹ jẹ́ ká wá gbọ́ ètò wa o.
Ètò yín èwo?
Ẹ tí ì gbọ́ nípa ètò Mopélọ́lá.
Ta ni Mopélọ́lá?
Mọ́mì Bọ́lá, ètò Mopélọ́lá lètò tó ń rí sọ́rọ̀ àwọn obìnrin. Ètò kan ṣoṣo tó wà láti lè dáàbò bo àwọn ẹ̀tọ́ àwa obìnrin, ọ̀dọ́bìnrin àti àgbàlagbà láti lè ṣe ìrànwọ́, àbójútó àti ìrónilágbára fún wa. Ó yá o, Mọ́mì Bọ́lá, Mọ́mì Dàpọ̀, Ìyá Lọlá àti Sista Ṣadé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ pàdé Olúwabùkọ́lá Ọláwùmí pẹ̀lú Ìyáàfin Bọ́lá Olúmídé Àjàyí ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Ajé Monday ní dédé agogo 7 sí aago 8 alẹ́. Àwọn amòfin, oníṣègùn òyìnbó àti akọ́niníṣẹ́ yóò wà níkàlẹ̀ láti lè mọ ṣàlàyé fún wa ẹ̀tọ́ àti ìlera wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí obìnrin lábẹ́ òfin. A ó máa retí yín o.
For inspiring stories, real talk, from health and wellness to career and relationship, we explore it all. Meet your host, the Radio Gem, and other women on Women Corner every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m., where sisterhood meets support. It promises to elevate your mind, and most importantly, it's gonna be fun. Follow us on our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, all at Radio Afinju. Keep a date with us on Women Corner every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m.
on Radio Afinju.
Do you have something that is kept or meant to be kept unknown? This is where secrets are revealed and desires are uncovered. Welcome to your safe space, Whispers in the Dark, with me, Spicy Honey Drops, and my radio bull, Classic. With 2 amazing segments, you are assured of a smooth ride.
Do you have a secret you've been afraid to reveal? Confession night is where you pour out your heart desires, fears, and secrets. Are you ready to ignite the spark in your love life?
On Bedroom Blaze, we explore the art of intimacy, passion, and connection to help you create a more fulfilling and satisfying love life. Right here on Radio Afinju. Join us every Monday, 10 to 11 p.m.
And Wednesday, 9 to 10 p.m. Let's relive the excitement of finding true love, sending special messages to your partner and friends, live on air.
From the shadows to the spotlight. Let's explore the human experience in all its complexity. Stay glued to Whispers in the Dark on Radio Afinju with Spicy Honey Drops for a journey that will leave you breathless.
For up-to-date tori wey no get filter. Politics matter. Sports.
Ya lo hace. Pierna derecha, directo al arco. ¡Golazo! ¡Golazo!
Culture. Naija and obodo oyibo music. Advertisement wey go reach your customer home and abroad.
This is incredible.
Na on top Radio Afinju you go hear am.
You can't be serious.
Na so. Radio Afinju be baba for all radio stations wey dey Osogbo, Osun State. Radio Afinju na better level for broadcasting.
Alrighty then.
You're welcome back to the show. This is still Doc on Radio Wellness Made Easy on Radio Afinju, where we'll bring you practical tips to everyday health problems, everyday health issues. And this evening, if you've been here from the beginning, I've been talking about toilet infection, or what most of us understand to be toilet infections, and I've mentioned that it can be a cause of many other health issues and not necessarily toilet infection. Let's not narrow it down to toilet infections, because there are several other reasons why you may be having that discomfort, especially in your genital area. So now I want to talk about prevention and care. How do we ensure we stay safe, especially when it comes to things that we expose our genital areas to? Because in as much as toilet infections very minimal, proper hygiene practices are also very, very, very important. So I'm going to be sharing tips, especially when you find yourself using a public bathroom, because remember, it is not only on the toilet seats that you can actually contract germs. You can contract germs anywhere in a public space, right? In a public space, anywhere you find yourself, you can contract germs. So we have to be very, very mindful of that. So again, it is also important, another preventive tip I have, it is important for you to wear breathable underwear. Like I mentioned when I was talking about the causes, I said wearing tight underwear is not it's not good at all. It is not. So if you're going to wear, yes, I understand fashion, oh, it's looking beautiful, it's looking this, it's looking that, but we have to put the long-term effect into consideration. So if you're getting an underwear, you're getting something fancy, oh, you want to make your bedroom game, you want to make it top notch, and so you go and get a leather underwear, you have to ensure that it is not what you wear every day, because the best material for underwear still remains cotton, and that is because it is very breathable. It is what? Breathable. Anything that can hold a lot of water is referred to as breathable, especially cotton, so even when you're going out and you wear cotton underwear, it allows air to get into the corners of your genital area, so you're airing it out. Germs are not going to be trapped in your genital area. And another thing is, when you use the toilet, ensure you're wiping front to back. Did you hear me? Front to back, not back to front, not left to right, not right to not to left. No, if you're using a wipe, you're using a tissue paper, ensure it is front to back, even for babies as well. Front to back, because when you wipe back to front, there is a very high chance you're going to, especially maybe when you go to poo, there's a very high chance that you're passing remnants of that poo into the orifice of the vagina. Do you get? And remember again, the vagina is an opening, and you're passing waste, because your poo is waste that has been sieved out by the body. So you're passing that waste, remnants, some particles of that waste are going to enter your vagina, and you do not want that. So ensure that when wiping, you are wiping front to back. And also, when you are witnessing any symptoms, you don't know, you can't point what is causing this, ensure that you reach out as soon as possible to your medical professional. Make sure you talk to your doctor about what exactly you are feeling, what exactly you are noticing about your body. So let me quickly share some tips, especially for public toilets. When you go out there and you are pressed, you need to quickly use a bathroom. You don't even know who washes it. You don't even know if it is washed at all. But what you know is that you need that privacy. You want to go and ease yourself, even if it is easy. You want to ease. It's not only when you are going to poo, that is when you need to practice safe hygiene. Even if you're just going to ease yourself, and this applies to both men and women. Ensure that you always carry tissue or wipes. It is not a womanly thing to carry wipes. It is not a womanly thing to carry tissues. There is no day you open my bag, there's always a tissue there, at least tissue. If I feel wipes are too big, or I can't carry the whole pack of wipes, I cut some tissue paper and put, because I never know when I'll need to use it. So always ensure, because especially in a country like Nigeria, a lot of public toilets don't even have these facilities. So you have to ensure that you yourself, you are prepared and you have your own. And even if there are no tissues, ensure that there is water somewhere. You can easily just buy pure water and use it to clean up after using a public toilet. Another thing is, if you get to a public toilet, you don't know who've been there, you don't know you don't know the state of health of that person. So don't just go and sit directly on that toilet seat. No, that's a very poor hygiene practice, because you don't know who's been there. That person may have you don't even know their health history or their health bill, or they may have even pulled, and some particles, they didn't properly clean the toilet, and then you are going to sit on that same toilet. No, we have to be very mindful. So, and this is where the tissue comes in again, because you can line the tissue on the seat of a public toilet before you sit on it, if you really do need to sit on it. For some people, you can just hang in there. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You don't if you find it challenging, or if you don't want to sit, you can just hang. There's a certain position that you used to hang. You know what I'm talking about. Let's not go into that. So if you don't have a tissue paper that you can use to line the toilet seat, you don't have to sit on it directly, right? But again, like I mentioned, the risk of infection from the toilet is actually low, but still you have to try your best to not expose your body to waste from another person's body. And also, whenever you use the toilet, or when you flush the toilet rather, don't I know sometimes they tell you that when you, after using the toilet, you should look at your waist, that is in the toilet to know the color and everything, so that you can tell, yes, that's fine. But when you are flushing, please ensure you are not there breathing in the cortisol? I've forgotten the medical term, because as you are flushing, you know, the water is blowing and a lot of breeze, and you know there is still a chance that particles of your poo are going to fly out from that water that is flushing, and then your face is right there, and once you are done, you step out, and who knows, you may even go and kiss somebody outside with poo on your face. Let's be very, very mindful, right? I've also mentioned the wipe front to back, so that is already set. Wash your hands properly. Wash your hands properly for at least 20 seconds. Wash your hands. If the restroom you want to use, there's no water there, buy pure water, even though it might be a little expensive now, but just ensure that you have water. Even if there's no soap, ensure there is water. Wash your hands. 20 seconds, you are done. Wash your hands, please. If there's sanitizer, you can use that as well. And also, once you finish, you're done with your business, leave the toilet. There is no, if you're people taking your phone to the toilet is actually a poor hygiene practice. I hope you know that. Very poor hygiene practice. Remember, toilet is a place where you go there to relieve yourself. So there's a lot going on in the restroom, and as a lot is going on, a lot of waste is also flying about. Even the air in the toilet is different. So imagine taking your phone inside the toilet, and then different particles. You can't see them with your ordinary eyes, of course. So different germs, they are resting on the unlike your body. Your body can afford to be there because maybe in the night you're going to bath. But you can't wash your phone now. So your phone, the germ is going to remain on your phone. And it's that same phone, after you are done pressing, you use that same hand, you go and use it and eat eba, and you put it inside your mouth. Do you know what you are eating? It's not me that will tell you. So also, I've mentioned change your underwear daily. Always change your underwear daily. And in the next few minutes, I just want to quickly run through some myths that we are very, very popular myths, misconceptions that we have heard about that are not true. And the one sitting pretty as number one on that list is that women only get toilet, quote unquote, toilet infections. Women only. No, not only women can get infections, men are also prone to getting infections. However, it is more serious for women due to our anatomy. But again, men can also get urinary tract infections. They can get fungal infections if they don't also practice proper hygiene. And it says that another misconception is that using disinfectant or harsh soap keeps you safe. No, it doesn't do that. What it does is it alters your body pH balance, and then you start to have all sorts of symptoms. So you're disrupting the natural flora of your vagina, especially for women, and when that happens, you are more prone to having infections. And another misconception, thinking that all itching or all discomfort or all hygiene is caused by toilet infections. I mentioned this as well. No, not all itching, not all discomfort, not all discharge are caused by toilet infections. They can be caused by other types. You don't want your panties to be stained, and so morning, afternoon, and night you're always wearing panty liner. Well, white panty liners may be good, but it is not advisable that you be wearing panty liners every day. It is not advisable at all, because panty liners also trap it also traps germs, right? It doesn't allow your genitals to air, so you are trapping germs inside the panty liner. And then lastly, second to the last, it says that you can get it. That's why the term is there, sexually. You can only contract it when you have sexual intercourse or other kinds of sexual practices with a person. So sexual STIs and toilet infections, they are not the same thing. They are very, very different. So you cannot get STIs from toilet infections. And then last but not least, it says most infections come from within or due to poor hygiene. Well, while that may be true, Most of the time it is poor hygiene that causes them. There can also be other underlying causes as well. You have to talk to your doctor to be very, very sure. So it is important that you get tested instead of guessing, instead of thinking, okay, because this symptom happened to me that day, it is the same as the one happening to me now. No, that is very wrong, because sometimes while symptoms might be similar, causes might be different. And in conclusion, I'm just going to say that toilet infection is it mostly focuses, again, toilet infection, quote unquote, on hygiene practices and habits. And I want to employ us to practice safe hygiene, proper use of. That I come to the end of this evening's episode of Doc on Radio, and I am very sure you've learned something new today, especially about toilet infections. But you know what? Join me again at 5:00 p.m. next Monday for another interesting and expository episode on Doc on Radio, Wellness Made Easy, here on Radio Afinju. And like I always say, good health is a journey, not your destination. Until I come your way again.